Welcome to Jets Talk. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Boys and girls, before we hop in the video, I want to thank the fantastic sponsor of the channel, JR Tax. December is here. That means tax season is set to kick off, and it's time to draft an all-pro CPA to create your tax savings playbook. The IRS has instant replay, and when they throw the challenge flag, they charge penalties, fines, and interest that'll put you behind the sticks. Don't let the IRS sack your bank account. Hire JR the Tax Czar to drive yourself or your business down the field for a tax savings touchdown. The best part about SKG Tax is JR is a Jet fan and he supports the channel. So if you want to support the channel, you want to help yourself out during tax season, head over to JR and SKG Tax, linked in the description below. Let's hop into our topic of today. A few topics. I want to recap a few different things, but let's hop into the topic that we're going to talk about first. And that is Joe Flacco. We're going against him and the Cleveland Browns tonight in Cleveland. And he wanted to play for the New York Jets when Aaron Rodgers initially got hurt. And there's fans sort of sitting back saying, wow, Joe Flacco is looking pretty decent over there in Cleveland. Could he have been our starter, and could we have been in the position that Cleveland's currently in if he was here in New York versus, maybe a Zach Wilson or Trevor Siemian or whoever else you wanted to see start for the New York Jets? So let's listen to a clip of what Robert Saleh said about Joe Flacco just last August 2022, and then we'll get into his comments more recently about the star quarterback.
He should be, in my opinion, he could start in this league. I believe that. He's, sometimes this league has a tendency to pigeonhole people or put labels on people, and then their opportunities kind of get limited. But Joe Flacco is a starting quarterback in this league. He's really, really talented.
So Robert Saleh had some really glowing things to say about Joe Flacco just last year. Now let's flip forward to this year and hear about, are there any regrets that you didn't bring in Joe Flacco this year as the quarterback once Aaron Rodgers went down?
Like we said, we love Joe first and foremost. Obviously, he spent a couple of years with him. Love him. Love the way he prepares. Really pumped for him and the success he's having. But it's just a decision we made in terms of the quarterback room and the way we developed it over the course of OTAs and training camp. And it was just a decision we made.
Was he in the conversation at all when you were pivoting from Aaron between you and Joe?
Yeah, there's always going to be discussions. There was a bunch of guys that we talked about.
I mean, was he specifically part of that conversation, or was that just not a fit in your guys' eyes?
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to speak for Joe D on this one, but yeah, Joe Flacco has a soft spot with all of us.
Robert, obviously it's hindsight, but when you look at the way Joe has performed and obviously come off the couch, so to speak, is there any regret that maybe you didn't take a closer look at that and, because, the fact that he's been in here and knows this place, even though it's not PAC system?
No, never regret, because like I said, you always go into things with what you hope being a sound decision. The biggest thing is to reflect upon those decisions and to see what we could have done better as a coaching staff, as an organization. But every decision we make feel like it comes with deep thought and logic, and but no, there's no regret there.
When you're watching him slinging around like that, it's kind of difficult to wonder what if, I suppose.
No, I don't think I ever let myself go there, but it is pumped to just watch him. I am pumped to watch him play. It is fun for any guy that you've gotten an opportunity to coach and be around to have success, and he's definitely having it right now.
So this is an interesting conversation that I think is at least worth exploring. Would Joe Flacco have righted the ship for the New York Jets? Could we have wound up in the playoffs because of his play versus the play we got out of the quarterback position? Right now, through 4 games, Joe Flacco has 1,307 yards and 10 touchdowns. He does have 7 interceptions, so not a clean slate by any means, but 10 touchdowns is pretty nice compared to what our offense has been able to put up. Given that was only 4 weeks, and we are now 17 weeks, or going to be 17 weeks into the NFL season. It's frustrating. And look, I don't think that Joe Flacco winds up being the same quarterback with us as he would have been with Cleveland. Look, and you can look at Cleveland. You can say, look, they lost their starting left tackle. They lost their starting right tackle. They lost their best weapon in Chubb, or arguably their best weapon in Chubb. and they're able to find wins, and they're able to get success out of that position, and they're able to continue moving forward. But then you look at like the pressure stats. Zach Wilson, just against the Dolphins 2 weeks ago, was pressured on like, I think it was 80% of his dropbacks, where Joe Flacco, by comparison, over the last 4 weeks, has been pressured the 4th least of quarterbacks in the NFL over that span of time. So Joe Flacco behind our offensive line is not going to look like Joe Flacco behind the Browns' offensive line. I mean, look, there's definitely some vibe or some feelings maybe from fans that look at this and say, wow, Garrett Wilson has the same exact amount of touchdowns from Zach Wilson in 20 games as Garrett Wilson has from Joe Flacco in the time that he's been here. 2 per quarterback. Like, not a fun thing. It's super frustrating. But look, I should Flacco have been part of the discussion in September when Rodgers went down? Sure. I think you should overturn, every stone, make sure you have done your due diligence. Based on what I saw from Flacco last year, I did not want to see Flacco behind our offensive line. The line was continually an issue. I think Zach, unfortunately, wound up being our best option. I mean, maybe you can, say, well, Carson Wentz could have been a potential option because he is mobile and he was once an MVP caliber type quarterback, but he's been bounced around from team to team over the last 4 years too. So I'm not sure there was a right answer there. It's frustrating, but I'm not so sure there's a different way you could have gone at the emergency point in the season right there, given the other options that have kind of either fizzled out or like the other ugly things that have reared their heads. Like, I don't know if you overcome Hackett's play calling ability. I don't know if you overcome wide receiver drops. I don't know if you overcome poor offensive line play. I don't know. We're more than just a quarterback away at this particular time. The next topic that I want to talk about.